Hi, I'm Danielle LaChance of Danielle LaChance Photography, and this is my business plan for 2017. My company description is that I'm a photographer. I specialize in newborn and family lifestyle photography. Sessions are unique to other local photographers as I take on an activity-driven session that promote a fun, emotive experience that yields heirloom quality images that will be treasured for generations. Outdoor and in-home sessions are available, and I use mainly natural light. In a saturated market that is fueled largely in part by word of mouth, the biggest key to success is providing an excellent client experience. By keeping the sessions relaxed and focused on interaction, this creates a connection between my clients and myself and helps to create authentic images. My mission statement is to provide families with heirloom quality images that capture true emotion, connection, and their unique personalities. The vision I have for my business is for it to remain a small photography business of just myself that specialize in families and newborns because that's where my passion lies. Within the next 5 years, I aim to be much more established with clients in my area and to start learn and introduce video into my home sessions. Products and services, the main thing that I'll be providing my customers is a service. It'll have a flat rate, and included in the session fee is the session itself, the digital image files that will have been edited and made available in an online gallery where they can digitally download the files. I will also provide clients with a personal use print release so that they can print their pictures on their own accord. 3 to 4 weeks after the session is when they'll receive their digital files with their printing rights. The market need has already been established for my business because I am currently booking clients. It's very important for my customers to receive their digital files in the time frame provided to them and that the quality is the same across the board. The way that I will make sure that all my customers receive their images in the correct time frame is by staying organized. And because I'm the only person in the business and handle all the editing myself, I can provide a consistent product. I can't offer returns because it is a service. Because the images are in a digital format, so there's really nothing to physically return. What I can do is offer reschedules due to inclement weather or emergencies, and if for some reason a customer is unhappy after they've received their images, I would offer to reshoot free of charge. Production and operation. There are a lot more materials that you need to run a photography business than one may think. I need to have at least 2 camera bodies in case of a malfunction during a session. Right now I use a Canon 5D Mark II and a Canon 5D Mark III. The Mark II is my backup. I also need to have multiple different lenses and filters, tripods, a shutter release remote, flash, memory cards, extra batteries and chargers, and external hard drives to back up all of my images. I also need to have computer software to open and view the files, and for editing purposes, I need to have Adobe Photoshop and Lightroom. Once I do incorporate video into my sessions, I will need to have the Adobe Premiere Pro as well. For accounting, I use QuickBooks software. I'll also need to pay for the online gallery website where people can download their image files and their print release. I don't have a brick and mortar location, and I'll just use my home office. My website acts as my storefront. It's what people see and where they find me, so it needs to be professional, interesting, and informative, and I will operate it by myself. Sessions start with an inquiry, which usually comes through the contact form on my website, and that gets sent to my email, but it could also come through social media. Because excellent customer service is such an important part of my business, I make sure to respond as quickly as possible. After the initial inquiry, we discuss locations and dates. Once that's agreed upon, I send the client a contract via email that can be electronically signed and an invoice showing the retainer fee and the remaining balance with the due dates. 2 days before the session, I confirm the details with clients. On the day of the session, I always arrive to the location early so I can look for the lighting situations and kind of decide where exactly I want to do everything during the session. I like to keep things light and easy going during the session, and I get the family involved in activities and poses that create movement and promote interaction. After the session ends, I go home and upload the images to my laptop and immediately back them up on an external hard drive. I edit a few pictures right away so I can share them as a sneak peek. My contract states that the gallery with the images will be ready within 1 month, but I always aim to get them to my clients sooner. And I also try to provide more images than quoted to just kind of reiterate that excellent customer experience. And once everything is ready, I send the client an email with a link to their gallery, instructions on how to download the files, and their release. Marketing and sales. My target market is mothers who either have young children or are pregnant and planning to have more children. Most of my marketing will be done through social media. The main social media avenues that I'll be focusing my energies on will be Facebook, Instagram, my blog, and an email newsletter. After each session, I will share images from the session on Facebook and Instagram. I'll run 5 to 6 Facebook ads throughout the year to promote my business and special promotions that I may be running. I'll also create a blog post sharing pictures and a few paragraphs talking about the family and the session afterwards. Once I create the blog, I'll also use Facebook and Instagram to push traffic to the website and to the blog by sharing images with the URL link. The newsletter I'll use by sending out about emails 4 to 5 times per year. They'll consist of any updates to my business, specials or promotions that I'm running, or tips that my client may appreciate. Another way that I'll market is by placing an ad in a local resource guide by Birth Roots in Portland. They cater to pregnant women and people, new mothers. They hand them out, the resource guides, out to other local businesses and hospitals, so it'll be a great way for me to reach my target market. Sessions are a flat rate of $300 plus 5.5% Maine state sales tax. A retainer of equal to 50% of the session fee is required to book the session, and then the remainder will be due 2 days prior to the session. There's a lot of competition in our market. It's very oversaturated. Many people offer different kinds of photography services. The market also has an obstacle, that is the fact that cameras and cell phones are constantly getting better, and people may start to feel they don't necessarily need professional photography. The biggest way to overcome these obstacles will just be to differentiate my business and create a connection with my clients and my social media followers. A rundown on my SWOT analysis is that my strengths are: I provide a great client experience. It's very unique compared to other local photographers. I can create connection with my clients, and I know how to kind of bring that out of them. I know how to use light effectively. I can handle low light situations as well as harsh light situations. I have professional grade equipment. I have extensive education. I've taken quite a few college classes as well as workshops on both online and in person, and I am very capable using Photoshop and Lightroom to edit the images. My biggest weakness is my experience. I don't have as much experience as a lot of the other photographers in my market. I'm not great with SEO. I definitely need to learn more about that, and I just have an overall lack of business knowledge, which is why I'm taking this class. My opportunities is that lifestyle photography and my editing style, which is kind of like a filmy kind of style, is currently in trend, as well as blog and article publications that I have had and could have. Threats are the saturated market, changing trends, and just the easier access to cameras, like on phones and things like that. My financial plan, I have, without any building requirements, my startup costs were relatively low. My biggest expense the first year was just upgrading my equipment. The first year I got a Canon 5D Mark II, and I picked up just like one lens. I already had a 50mm Canon, and I picked up the 24-105. My second year I slowly saved to make upgrades to my equipment, and this year I just purchased, upgraded to the Canon 5D Mark III, and also picked up the Sigma 35 lens. That helped keep my startup costs low by doing it that way. I'm a sole proprietor, which also got my startup expenses low, but within 5 years I do plan to become an LLC just due to the risk involved with being a sole proprietorship. The way that I will measure my progress is by just making realistic goals and revisiting these goals monthly, by just checking in and seeing how my business is doing and what seems to be working and what isn't working. That'll help keep me on point. I also want to schedule time to go over my financial records. That will help me stay on track with my financial goals, as well as getting a mentor who's already established, who could help me out a lot. Another way to keep myself accountable is to meet with an accountant throughout the year.